Can I get your attention, please? We're kind of running behind late because all right, anyways, first and foremost, welcome to the alumni panel. I'd like to welcome the alumni committee. My name is DJ G. Gray. I'm a CPA at Titan High School. Thank you for being here. I'll pass it down to my boss.
Stop. I'm Trey, CPA, Auburn High School. All of us are all Achiever alum.
Yeah, my name is Mr. Quadell. I'm a CPA at Highline High School.
Yeah.
All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and quickly introduce a panel. As you all know, everybody on this panel is an alumni. So at one point in their time, they were in your shoes today. So we have asked them to come back and give back their knowledge and wisdom to be able to help you succeed in this coming year. So from the alumni panel, I want them to be able to introduce themselves, what high school you went to, and of course what college and major you pursued.
What high school you went to, what you request were, what you're doing now in major.
Gotcha. My name is Jared. I graduated in 2016. I went to Washington High School in Tacoma. I'm going to go to Eastern Washington to study and major in sociology.
All right.
My name is Jonas. I went to Mariner High School in Everett. I went to college. I studied politics there, and currently I am just started a new job at a radio prep. It's a middle school charter school, and I am a dean of instruction and culture there.
Hi everybody, my name is Alejandro Ibanez. I went to AC Davis High School in Central Washington. I ended up going to Western Washington University, and now I work in social media.
Hello everyone, my name is Brene Johnson. I graduated from Lincoln High School in 2020.
Go away!
I went to Western and I just graduated in June with a BS in psychology and a BA in sociology.
Hey guys, my name is Jay Sean. I graduated from Auburn Riverside High School in 2018, and I currently go to UW Tacoma, and I'm getting my BA in Business Administration.
I'm Julia Lomai. I graduated Cambradian in 2006.
Hey,
yes. And I went to Western for a couple years, and then I transferred over to Central, graduated in 2012, and I work in Seattle colleges now.
Hi, my name is Ria, and I went to West Valley in Spokane. I actually came here to Western for all 4 years, graduated in 2011 in studio art, and now I work for Edward Jones. It's an investment firm.
Hello, my name is Isaac. I went to Lincoln High School in Tacoma. Graduated in 2009, went to Tacoma Community College, and then transferred to UW Tacoma. I'm currently a case manager at a nonprofit in Seattle, and I love my job.
Thank you, alumni panelists. Thank you for volunteering your time. So, a couple of housekeeping rules. So we're gonna give you the opportunity, students, to be able to ask questions. So what I'm gonna ask you and implore you to be able to do is, if you can guide or direct your questions towards one alumni panel, or if you want to have all of them answered, that's fine as well. But just make sure that we have one individual answering one question at a time, because we don't have a lot of time. So the first question that I will start out with is, what key advice would you give yourself as a high school student? Going back to your memories, think about it, that time. What advice, now, thinking back, what advice would you give yourself as a high school student? Because they're all in high school now, so we want to make sure that they don't make the same mistakes as we did.
I'll take that. I would say be more confident in your ability I didn't even think about going to college until I heard about the Achiever Scholarship and realized that it could like really make it attainable for me. And I did a lot of it last minute. I took my ACT last minute. I applied last minute to everything. Even with my great advisors on campus, I just didn't really believe in myself until I was there and getting good grades. And it took me a long time to really think that I could actually do something. So it took me a long time. I took time off in the middle of school. It took 2 years off because I just wasn't focused. So definitely just, I think, have confidence in yourself earlier on and know that like you're this far and you can make it as far as you want.
Something that I would say, something that I was advised to do in high school is don't put all your eggs in one basket, meaning don't just go for one thing when there are so many other possibilities out there. Don't just apply for one college because 9 times out of 10, I mean, yeah, you might get accepted, but you might not, so you want options. UW Tacoma was actually the last school that I applied to, but it was the only school that I actually got accepted into. So prepare yourself for that and the stress of that, and pretty much.
So we're going to move on to the next question now. And so, as you know, senior year is going to be really hard. And so what I asked the panelists is, what is the most challenging part of navigating your college plan?
Can we ask three? We're going to ask the three panelists to answer this question.
Hello? I want to say one of the hardest parts about navigating my college plan is when it failed. Y'all, rejection's super real, and you can't, as hard as it sounds, you can't take it too personally, and you got to get ready to pick yourself back up quickly, because as soon as that May 1st deadline hits, you have to have your college decision done. And wait, that is the part you're asking, right? Okay, cool. Oh. Navigating, like, again, layering on what he said, you want to make sure that you don't put your eggs in one basket. You have multiple options, and when it comes to evaluating your options, you want to make sure that you're being thoroughly of like, is this school affordable? Or am I like doing the right school? Does this school offer my major? Am I like, don't just be like, yo, I guess this is where I'm going because of, I don't know, the admissions guide was nice or like blah, blah, blah. Like, don't take it personally. Be ready with a backup plan and reach out for help when it does fail, because I know a lot of y'all, like, at least if you were me, like, when I got rejected from my top choice, I immediately went into like, oh, I gotta hide this. I gotta like, no one can know about this. But I'm like, yo, the faster I'm like, okay, I got rejected, moved on, got my second plan in action, and was like, let me choose one of my other schools and make my decision before May 1st, I got it together quicker.
I would say one of the hardest things for me was like knowing what classes to take. Like I knew what I wanted to major in, but there's still like a lot of other classes you have options to take. And I know I am abnormal in that I knew what I wanted to do, and I only changed my major once in college, which is like really unusual. But just knowing like how to navigate like what to sign up for, what do I do, how do I start, and honestly I'll be honest, I picked my classes based on Rate My Professor. That's a really great resource, and it will tell you well, who's a good professor, because honestly I found it easier to enjoy subjects like math and chemistry and things like that when I had an awesome teacher that was like already vetted for me, and people had already taken this class and were like, no, that person's really going to help you enjoy that subject. So that really helped me like get out of my comfort zone and try new things and know kind of like, I don't know how to navigate the million different options that colleges have to offer. Is I just picked good teachers and just tried new things. Tried new things.
So something is this even on? Okay, something I struggled with was putting myself first and what I wanted first. So, like you'll have family that you feel really tied to and that you feel like, and especially for a lot of us, like we keep our family together, right? Like we pull a lot of the weight. And just like putting my relationships before what I wanted. So this is really the time for you to be selfish and choose what you want to do. Like forget any doubt that, because sometimes like my parents were like, oh, like the first college I got into, they're like, you're not going to get into any other colleges, so just accept this offer. And it was like Wazoo or something like that. I ended up getting into USC. But, so it's just like, you do what you need to do, what's best for you, and don't worry about anybody else. This is the time to be very selfish, because this is your future. What you do now is going to affect your life from 10 years from now, so just think about that.
Let's do it one more. Isaiah.
Okay, so for me, what was very challenging was having family support. I was born in Mexico and raised in Mexico, and immigrated here when I was about 14 years old. And so I didn't have any family member here with me. So I was here with uncles and cousins and stuff like that. And so my parents never went to college. They barely know how to speak Spanish or write, their names in Spanish. So having their support was very challenging because I needed someone to guide me when I was having maybe failing a class and wanted to talk to someone about it. My parents were never there. So that to me was very challenging.
So it's 10:32 now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask one more question from us, and then we're going to give that the opportunity to you guys to answer as much questions as possible. So my question to the alumni panel is, how do you balance going to school, family life, being a first generation, and moving away from home? And for those that didn't share, this time is your time to share.
Okay, I would say, so I was first generation. Nobody in my family really gone to college and done anything and was very familiar with it. And I had a role in my family that I was dependent on a lot emotionally for people, and it was really hard to balance that. I was going from Western to Kent every weekend, going back home to my family because they would call me and be like, we'll give you gas money if you come home and see us. We'll buy you groceries. They wanted me there more. They were supportive of me, but it was hard because they were from this family that we were so tight. So trying to balance that, I don't know what the best option is because everybody's different, but just be aware of that, what she was saying earlier, that it's time to be selfish. Make sure that you're thinking about how you're gonna manage that now and letting your family know early on that you can't come home every weekend, you can't do this, and you can't be that same person, that you do need to be there for yourself.
I was just going to echo onto that super quick. Same deal. My family wasn't ever super close knit, but pretty much when I pieced out, I pieced out. One of my favorite phrases is "not my circus, not my monkeys," and I had to leave the circus behind and take care of myself. And I ended up getting summer jobs, and pretty much once I came to Western, I stayed at Western. I, would go home when I felt like I needed to go home, but I couldn't get involved in the drama and all the stuff that was going on at home. I needed to take care of me and be independent of what was going on with my family. And I am definitely a stronger, better person now because I was able to remove myself from that situation.
So I'm a big believer in the mind, body, and spirit. I know that sounds hippy-dippy and stuff, but it's true. So I think in order to balance everything in your life, you need to take care of yourself first. First and foremost, always put yourself, your health, and everything will take care of itself. So with that being said, I believe that, your dreams without action and you know, if you're just gonna dream and dream your whole life and just take no action, nothing's gonna happen. So with that being said, I think, you know, to balance it out too, you just need to be intentional about like every move you make. So like, for example, for me, like I had to build a community around myself and be intentional about who I was hanging out with, because I found myself, you know, doing things that I never said I'd do, or just like, you know, just not succeeding the way that I wanted to. And so it starts with all of that, and I think, you know, something like that, just building a community and just being around goal-oriented people and like-minded people, it's just like, that's an example of, you know, helping you bring yourself up and just taking care of yourself. Because, you know, if you surround yourself with people like that, then, you know, they're just gonna help you pick yourself up. And, you know, if people were truly your friends, then, you know, they build you up and understand, you know, your road to success. And if they did, then maybe you need to hang out with different people, because that's just the reality of the situation. So, yeah, just be careful, take care of your mind, body, and spirit, and just be intentional.
I also agree, really. I think for me, when I started college, really just thought college was time to grind, time to like just hit the library, time to, you know, do really well in school and ignore everything else, right? Don't call grandma, don't call mom, don't call anybody else. It would be like 2 months before I call anybody, and that's a bad idea. Because when I started to struggle, I had no community around me. I had nobody to really like call and connect with, except just like maybe like hide and cry, right? And that didn't really work. And so like if I was to look back, I would say like recognize the importance of like family. If you're the type of person who's like hella independent and like you just want to grind, I got this. You don't need anybody's directions. I'd say like just think about that a little bit. You are human. We're social beings. So having people, having community around us, somebody to talk to, is really important. It's only going to make you even better than you are, better than what you could do on your own.
All right. This is your time to shine, students. Don't be afraid to ask questions. All right, we got one right there. And again, if you can direct your question to one panelist or 2 or 3, however you want, just make sure that.
So my name is Gabriel. So you're in college and you spent all that homesick. How did you build a sense of community?
Sure. Your question was, how do you go about building a sense of community?
Yeah.
So I went to a very, I think I would say like more than majority really, where the student body is like white. And I knew that going into it. And I think like at first I was like, oh, I don't want to go hiking, no snowboarding, no, none of the stuff that people were interested in. They're like, Frisbee? I was like, I don't know how to do that.
I don't know how to do that.
So my reaction was like, okay, then just go to my room and hide and listen to music, put on my headphones, right? So I didn't like go out and look for people that I connect with. And then maybe after the second semester, I would say, I started looking for people who I want to connect with. And then I started going to certain clubs like Black Student Union or like African Union or things like that where students of color were there. So I started connecting with people who had similar interests. So I would say like, do the things that you enjoy, look for them. And so there'll be people who are also doing those things. And so build community with those people who also are doing the things that interest you.
Anybody else from the panel want to answer that as well? Good?
So a way that I built a sense of community was pretty much getting in touch with students from my classes and talking to them about like things that I felt like I was struggling with. And it really helped me to feel like I wasn't alone. Because if I had something that I was struggling with, most of the time they would be struggling too. I also joined a lot of clubs, and I even created a few clubs on my campus, so that really helped a lot too.
Anybody want to ask a question, students? All right, over here.
So I don't got a question, but what's your guys' favorite sport?
Alright, I'm going to move on. I want questions that pertain to college. I want questions that pertain to college. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's get back. I want questions that pertain to college. Any questions about college that you want to ask right now, or what's this like? This is the time to do it. I don't want to hear about what sports are like. You can ask it later on. I want to know about something that's general for everybody, that's on your mind, that's heavy on your mindset. Thank you. You got one right now?
My name is Jamila. My question is, how was your freshman experience like, the transition from high school to college?
Good question. Anybody else have that?
I loved it. I mean, looking back, like I walk onto Western and I just get a rush because like there was my dorm, that's where I hung out, that's where I ate. Like I loved my freshman experience. It was just like so, I don't know, exciting and new, and I got to be like a whole new person. I don't know, I kind of would like daydream when I was in high school about like who I was going to be in college and what it was going to be like, and I think it was just like a world of possibilities where you can just come and be you and be accepted for who you are. You can leave behind high school drama, you can leave behind, I don't know, you can just get to leave all that behind and just be you and be who you want to be in college. And no one, I guess, really cares about all that stuff from high school. Like everyone's there to study and learn and socialize, and I don't know, it was a fun time to be me, I guess. And I look back on that with fondness.
I'll say for me, it was a really big culture shock. I went to the most diverse school in my district in high school, and so like being around people who were similar to me, similar music, similar background. Like I mean, I'm half Samoan, so there was tons of Samoans in my school, and there was like none when I went to Western. And then coming to the school, and like it's just a bunch of really nice white people. It was really difficult for me. So it's like, it was a really big culture shock. And so just be mindful of that you're not going to have as many people who look like you, who are similar to you. And just know who you are. And just like make sure that you have friends, and make sure that you reach out to people. Even if it's somebody that you don't think that you would normally have been friends with, or a subject you wouldn't normally have liked, like try that. This is a time to like reach out and learn new things. And just not be scared, because it was really scary for me.
So for me, I had to take summer quarter to get my to get started, because you know, just like you all, like it was really shocking and scary for me. So I was told to take summer quarter, and that's what I did, and that really prepared me to get to know college and learn about college and get to know research around college. And so when fall quarter started, I was way ahead of my friends and other students coming in with me.
I'm gonna be real with you, I hated it. Thank you. So when I talk about being selfish, part of that is choosing a college that's best fit for you. So my freshman year, I didn't choose a college that was best fit for me. I went to Mills College in Oakland, and it was an all-girls private school. So when I went there, not only was I low income among a whole bunch of rich white people, white women at that, I was straight and I was black. So it was like triple jeopardy of minority status, right? And so the culture of the school didn't align with my cultural values or just like how I live my life. The school was gay, which is totally fine, but it was just like, they were like, you can't have the all-girls experience unless you sleep with one girl. And I was like, well, I'm not down with that. And that was kind of like a pressure every day. Not everybody else.
Alright, achievers, okay.
So if you're interested, it's Mills College in Oakland, California. However, it costs $64,000 to go there. So if you do not have scholarships, it's going to be rough. So moving on. So it's really important for you to make a list of the amenities, benefits, characteristics, etc. of the school that you want to go to, and don't settle for less.
Alright, got one more question right here.
Okay, my question is, how do you guys handle stress?
How do you handle stress? So this is more in terms of academic, how do you handle the stress of school, of college, etc. I would also go a little further about that. How do you handle life stress as well? Because there's also stress after college. So let's talk about that.
Self-care. So whatever that means for you, whether it's secluding yourself and reading a book, soaking your feet in Epsom salt, going to go exercise, whatever it is, self-care can be anything. There's no right or wrong answer, just as long as it relaxes you. And that's really important, and so you should do that daily. It takes time, but make that commitment for yourself, because that's the only way you're really going to stay sane in college.
Yep. To add on to that real quick, sometimes self-care doesn't always look like treating yourself. Sometimes self-care is doing the dirty work. It means like making yourself that budget, making sure of that schedule, like seeing that mess of like stuff that's piling up in the corner and be like, you know what, I'm gonna tackle 2 things off of that. Sometimes you gotta stop living your best life to live a better life.
I would say for me, I definitely didn't really practice much of self-care, especially freshman year. First year, I just grinding, going to the library, reading, doing all the work. And then when I'm stressed, I just do more of it, right? It's like you put it under the rug, because that's how I dealt with it. I didn't process it with people. I didn't like take care of myself really. I just keep doing it. Keep focused. Keep focused on the grade. I would say don't do that, because there was definitely a time where I started to have some breaking points. And then I started doing things like, okay, I gotta actually regularly exercise every single day. I gotta actually talk to people, spend time with other people that have nothing to do with school. Actually do things that have nothing to do, like I said, with school. And then as I grow older, I realize also it's not just about me doing things for myself, it's also like other people doing things for me, in a way. I will call it community care, right? If you're doing things for each other, I think that will give you an opportunity to take care of each other. And actually a lot of cultures already have community care already involved in that. But you hear a lot about self-care. I would say self-care and community care.
Something that I do for self-care is pretty much taking care of myself and like you said, not necessarily treating yourself, but making sure you're in a good space, like financially and educationally. Like I would go the extra mile. I would spend money on things that I knew that I needed so that I didn't have to worry about it. And there was like an entire month where I had like $3 in my account, so I couldn't go out with my friends. I couldn't do anything, but I knew that I had food in my fridge. And I knew that my bills were paid. I knew that my phone wouldn't get cut off, my power wouldn't get cut off, and I wouldn't get kicked out of school. So like, just take care of yourself.
I'm Peyton Thomas from Sugar High School, and I was wondering if it's easy to connect with your counselors and teachers here at Western, if it's like you can't speak content.
Yeah, can you ask the question, is it easy to connect to counselors on campus? Or what type of counselors are you talking about? Like grades or just overall like generic counselors really quickly?
Like grades, generic, pretty much go overall.
So at least at Western, one of the biggest things I had trouble with was that our generic advising counselors were not readily available and accessible. So they were kind of just like you with all the other 18,000 students. So I had to go out to the Multicultural Center and really be like, hey, like, let me try to find community there. And just like he mentioned, community care was like, I had to mention it out to my peers and be like, hey, what did you do for this? Or like, even reach out to like anybody specialized in a field, because the normal academic advising here, I'm gonna be super real, was not the best. But there is alternative methods to like gain the knowledge you need. And that either that could be like leaning on your community, reaching out to other like folks, or even just figuring it out, like a lot of Googling.
Nobody wants to clap? I would say definitely find a mentor. So find someone that you connect with on campus that is older than you, an adult, that can help you and guide you. So I had multiple mentors on campus, and they weren't necessarily the teachers that I had in class. And sometimes it's better to have that outside perspective, because when your mentor is a professor, like whatever you do in the classroom translates into your mentorship relationship, and that's not always the best depending on what kind of student you are.
I would also add on that, reach out to people. One of the things that I learned during my summer quarter is to get to know people on campus. For example, financial aid office. Like, if you are having issues with your financial aid, go to the financial aid office and talk to the person. Get to know their faces. Make sure they get to know who you are. And as far as counseling or advising, also talk to them, and they will tell you where to go. If you're having issues with, or if you're failing a class, there's mentors, there's touring centers on campus that they will connect you to. So, yeah.
I'm coming to you guys, I promise you. Just keep raising your hand, I'll keep coming back.
Have you guys ever been like in a situation where you have to switch majors?
Could you speak up?
Have you guys ever been in a situation where you have to switch majors?
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. Raise your hand and do it. All in.
Yeah, I did. Who wants to start?
So I actually went to college thinking that I was going to be a doctor. I am of an immigrant descent. I'm an immigrant myself. My family is an immigrant, and I'm sure that's something some of y'all might relate to, is that your families want you to be a doctor. Be a doctor, if nothing else. I mean, you know, it comes from a good place. So they care about you and they want you to be successful. Take it that way. I would say for me, and then I went to college, so started pre-med, because obviously I want to be a medical doctor, and then started taking chemistry, biology. Okay. Yeah, and it did not work out for me. I did not like it. It was painful every time I went to class. I did not look forward to going to class when I was in class. I did not like being there. I was grinding really, really hard, but not really getting A's, right? Getting B's, B minus, maybe C sometimes, somewhere in between, and I don't like it at all. So for me, that was sort of like and then when I started taking other classes, psychology, sociology, history, a bunch of other classes, I saw the difference between how I felt there and how I felt in my biology and chemistry classes. And that was an opportunity for me to be like, wait, you should listen to this, right? If I'm like looking forward to going to a class, and I'm looking forward to writing that like 10-page essay after like reading 5 books in that week, like what am I doing, right? And then having to call my dad to let him know that I was gonna not be pre-med anymore, right? Just imagine that. He was like, I don't understand, like why, like, you know, he kept drilling me, you know, asking questions. I was like, I just decided, this is it. And I had to push through because I knew what felt right for me. And looking back, don't regret it, it was the best decision I made. So I switched to psychology as my major and then minoring in politics. And then my senior year of college, so 4th year, I switched to majoring in politics and minoring in psychology because there was pieces of psychology I didn't really like doing research methods, collecting surveys and entering data, not my thing. So I didn't want to do that, so I switched to politics, and that was the best decision I made. And now I work in education, which is completely different. I can go on, but that's kind of like the journey. But I would say the advice I would give is, when I look back to my moments in high school, there were moments in which I should have listened to my intuition. Because I took a psychology class, I took government, I took those classes, and those classes were like the funnest. I was having a good time. I was looking forward to going to class. I was enjoying discussions, I was enjoying writing about it. I didn't listen to myself at all. Instead, I listened to my parents who wanted me to be a doctor. So I would say to listen to those moments when you have goosebumps, when you go to class and you're looking forward to it. Those are moments that give you energy, and listen to that energy.
It's almost 11 o'clock in the session. Session's about to get done at 11:15. So we got probably 2 or 3 more. So you already have one over there, and now I'm going to down this road.
Hi, my name is Robbie. I go to Winter Beach, and I was curious about your guys' GPA of applying to college, like your senior year. What was your GPA?
Ooh, I'll start. My GPA is wearing apple bottom jeans, fool. Let's y'all get that joke, so this is where your personal statement really comes into play. Y'all have to, when it comes to writing your personal statement and taking your SATs, I'm not sure how the SATs out of now, but damn, really make sure you show your holistic self. A lot of colleges will have a holistic review, and you gotta demonstrate, look, I'm just not this 3.0, 2.4, you are X, you are a student leader, you are this, you're a community builder, and here's all my extracurriculars, and this is why I'm gonna pass in college. And in fact, y'all need me, I don't need you. Remember, the institution does not make you, you make the institution.
So I had a 3.9 when I graduated from high school. However,
we see you. So we're gonna skip her.
Wait. However, just because you have a high GPA does not mean you're going to get accepted. They look at other things. So if you have that high GPA, but the rest of your application is trash, they're not going to accept you.
Yeah. They'll be like, bye, next.
I'll piggyback off that. I also had a 3.9, but my SAT scores were not great. I took it once because I was like, that sucked. I'm not doing that again. I probably should have retaken the SATs, and I didn't even bother with the ACT. But yeah, exactly. If your application, volunteer, do other stuff. If you have a low GPA, that doesn't mean you can't get in places, but if you have a high GPA, that also doesn't mean you're going to get in places. Who you are as a person and what you have to show the college is way more important than your GPA test scores. Those are important, especially if you're trying to go to Harvard and do pre-med, but if you are just trying to figure out your life and then, volunteer and be a community leader or be a participant in something and bring that to the table and show that to your college, and you'll shine.
My name is Bree. I go to Auburn. My question is, what tips and strategies do you have when it comes to switching from high school workloads to college workloads?
I'll open this one real quick. Organize your time. Time management is your first thing first. You're gonna get to college and it's gonna be a bunch of new stuff. You're I'm in this new city, or I'm higher education looks different to all of us, so whether you're in the same city or community college, but at the end of the day, it's you gotta put in the time or else you're not gonna get the grades. You can't, I know in high school you can show up to an IB, AP class or normal class and just be cool, here's homework, here's this, and you didn't do anything the night before. Prep your time and show up and be okay, cool, I have a lecture on Thursday, I'm gonna try to read this paper before that, even skim the paper or something like that, but just be ready, manage your time, and throw it. At the end of the day, you're not gonna magically absorb the knowledge through lectures and stuff like that, you gotta be ready to participate and be engaged.
Something real quick along those lines is something that's really transferable to work, professional life is learning to prioritize, right? What's important? Why is it important? You know, how much of your time, how much of your energy is spent on it? It's something that, like, if you have, let's say, an essay due this week that's worth like 25% of your grade in a class, you also have like 300 pages to read for another class. Write the essay. Spend time on it. Give your energy and most of your time writing that essay because it's 25% of your grade, right? That's one way to prioritize. So think about what your priorities are and why they are your priorities. So that skill is a skill that I feel like I'm still learning, and I've learned, and I cannot, like, it's huge, especially in your career, be able to figure out what's most important and spend your time and energy doing the most important things.
And lastly, the most important thing, you know, besides prioritizing and putting the time in, is putting the work in, because the workload from high school to college is drastically different. I remember my freshman year of college, which was really rough because I was a person in high school who was able to do like all 5 of my assignments the night before and keep up a really good GPA. And you know, in high school you can, you know, talk to your teachers and they can be more forgiving, but in college it's way different. You got to keep up with the assignments and they pile on really fast, and you got to, you know, stay up with your classes, because if you miss like even 5 classes a quarter, you're really close to failing. So it's different, and that's just the reality of the situation, but you're gonna have to want to succeed, so you're gonna have to put in the work too.
I found that I had a lot of free time in college that I wasn't expecting. I was like, what? I only have to go 3 classes today, and I can eat dinner whenever I want, and I can stay up till 1 in the morning binge watching something on TV. Like, there was a lot of free time. And so you really had to figure out, like, okay, that time management becomes crucial because no one's telling you to do your homework. No one's telling you you have to read those 300 pages. No one's telling you you have to go to class. Like, I mean, you go to class and there'll be people who only show up to take the test. But I would say show up, like, be present. Your professors recognize who shows up and who doesn't. And that'll help you get a job. That'll help you further in life if you're the kind of person that can show up and take that time to, time management is huge. And just being willing to, like, show up and use your free time wisely. You know, if you want to go party in the afternoon or, you know, later in the weekend, make sure you got your essay written. Make sure you've done your reading so then you can go hang out with your friends and not be like, oh dang, I'm going to be pulling an all-nighter tomorrow night because I'm having fun tonight. Like, set your priorities so that you say no so you can say yes, I guess. That's one of my, I still do that now, is I say no to things so then I can say yes to things later and be able to enjoy them.
So it is super possible to have an active social life and excel in college. And I'll give you the solution. Get a planner. And so at the beginning of each quarter, you're going to get a syllabus, right? And it's going to have all your test dates, your assignment due dates, your reading assignments, all of that. So when you get your, so you're going to get your syllabus, your syllabi, plural, and then you're going to write down each assignment in your planner and write down when you are going to start working on that. And you need to set a time every day, mandatory study time. However much time you need, mandatory study time. That means without, no matter what happens, you're going to go and you're going to study. You're going to get your work done during that time. And then all that other time, you can, if you want to, you can schedule social time. So me, I did very well in college, and I was going out a lot, every week. So it's possible. If that's the lifestyle you want to live, you just got to work for it.
Probably last question, maybe not.
So how many scholarships did you guys apply to and how many of those did you guys get?
A lot. I probably got half or less than half, but I came out with 20K. The trick is you want to apply for a lot of renewable scholarships, not one-time scholarships. So renewable scholarships, they're like, we'll give you $3,000 for 3 years. Or if you apply for, if you're a Palmer Scholar, you're going to get up to $5,000. And I got mine for 5 years. So, but if you get just one-time scholarships, you may go into college with, I don't know, a lot of money, but then after that first year, all those funds are gone and you're gonna be broke.
Another thing to add on to that, learn to negotiate. Some of the scholarships are mismanaged really badly. So sometimes they're like, yeah, I'm a 1 year. Call them again, be like, yo, I did so well my first year, give it to me again real quick. Or like some of these like application deadlines, and be aware, some scholarships will be like, hey, you must maintain X GPA or you can't fall below full-time status while you're there. Negotiate that away. Because if you ever have to take a W or withdraw of a class, you don't want that money to disappear. You gotta be on it to be like, hey, actually, here's how, I'm a person of color, I'm X, I'm Y, like the system naturally pushes out, I want that to be gone. So don't be afraid to like ask for more, or even just be like, hey, like when I came to Western and got my financial aid statement, I told Western, I'm not gonna choose you because I'm short $4 grand. I wasn't short, but they gave me $4 grand. And that was no essay, no like just literally talking to financial aid, be like, I need more money. Literally, if you don't, just always ask.
Ask, yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I was in high school, I like to be honest, I only went to high school to learn English. I wasn't thinking about going to college. But during my senior year, I met this mentor, and he was really into pushing me to go to college, and so he brought a list of scholarships for me to apply. And so him and I went through this scholarship list. Most of these scholarships require me to be a U.S. citizen, and so I wasn't. And so a lot of these scholarships I didn't qualify for, but others I did. And so I started applying for them. I applied for, I want to say 20 scholarships, and I got about 15 of them. So some of them were like $200, $500. Some of them were just for books, but it helped. And I highly encourage you guys to apply for scholarships, even on your freshman or whichever college you end up going. Apply for scholarships. I know lots of community colleges and universities do offer scholarships, so just apply to them. And I know it's a lot of work because you have to write, your personal statement. You have to do this. You have to do that. I mean, it's worth doing all of that because you're just gonna get free money for college, and I highly encourage you guys to apply for scholarships.
11:08. I don't know if you can push into one more question, but we'll try. One more question. Anybody else? All right.
Just be real.
Okay, what's something that took you by surprise once you got into your college?
So let's try to figure out who wants to do that.
What do you mean by surprise?
Something you didn't expect. Something you didn't expect.
Okay, so I want to say, so when my first quarter, summer quarter, one of the biggest surprise for me was getting my financial aid award. It was like this huge check of $8,000. And so I felt really rich. And so that was a big surprise for me.
Go off of that one. Everybody talks about like how poor you are in college, but with the scholarships, you will potentially end up with like a couple thousand in cash in your pocket, which is super overwhelming for somebody who like never had any money. So just be mindful of that. Like you're gonna have like I think I would get like $1,500 or $2,000 at the beginning of the quarter, and that was supposed to last me to the end of the quarter. And like in September, it sounds like so much money. And then after going to McDonald's and the movies and buying new clothes and buying $10 sandwiches at the atrium twice a day, like that stuff ends so quickly. So make sure you're like keeping budgets and keeping money in mind, because I had no idea how to manage it until I was out of school. So it takes a long time.
I have two things to say. My mom's a financial aid director, so she's gonna say one thing real quick. Do not borrow more than you need. I'm gonna start there. You're buying yourself time is all you're saying. And Sally Mae will find ways. It's Nelnet now, right? Or who is it? Sally Mae. Anyways, be careful. There's subs, and all this stuff. We'll figure that out later. But don't borrow more than you need so you have a bigger refund. Figure out your like basic budget and be like, okay, I only need to eat twice a week. No, but like, but figure that out first, because for those of you that don't get scholarships, financials can be like, yo, you need about like $8K a quarter to like live off, and that's like your cost of living. Calculate your real cost of living and figure that out quick, because that's the less money you're borrowing for yourself. So when you walk across that stage graduation, you're not immediately paying back a ton of loans. Second part is, the thing that caught me off guard, off surprise, would be, I came from like Yakima, Washington, so we're like 80% Latino, was adjusting to the cultural difference, and that will hit you hard. Like, it might be delayed, but like, going to Western, which is a predominantly white institution, to say it like that, I needed to find other people like me. Like, it took me like 2 quarters to find a tortilla in Bellingham. Like, there is no, like, it's real. You have to try to find your community, find your food, find your culture, and it's expanded, and like, you know, there's now like taco trucks everywhere, there's good like Fun 99 down the street and stuff like that, but you're gonna have to find it, and you have to learn how to like build your community up and find what you need.
I think for me, the thing that surprised me was just like the academic rigor, how hard school was. In high school, I had a really good GPA. I was a really good student, you know, 3.9, 3.8, 3.7, really high GPA. So I'm like, I'm a good student, I'm ready for this. I come in and I was humbled, real humbled. I was like, sit down. You got a C on this paper,
In the front row.
right? You got a C minus, you about to fail, right? Oh, hold on, right? I'm a 3.78 in high school, what you talking about? No, I think that was like, in a way, I'm the type of person also, if you humble me, that's telling me like there's a higher bar, right? That's how I took it. I was like, okay, you put the bar really high for me. I was really good, I thought I was good, but now I have a higher bar to reach. So I didn't let that take me down, like definitely did not give up. Definitely had moments where I felt like I wanted to give up, but I'm not going to give up. That just means that somebody says, hey, this is harder than where you are, I'm going to push myself to get there. I would say that was definitely like, I think a lot of things that were shared here in terms of like being ready, reading the syllabus. I would say when you get the syllabus, some people I noticed like they get it and they're like, oh, just put it in the binder, throw it somewhere. Don't do that. Treat it like it's a money. Treat it like it's a contract. It is a contract.
It is a contract.
It is. And like you should read every letter of the syllabus. Every letter. Ask every question when you come back again, the next class, to the professor.
Alright, so we're running out of time, so I want to say just one show of hands in terms of when we were talking about financial management. How many of you all panelists worked while you were in college? Show of hands.
Everyone.
So, financial management, if you're running out of money, you can best believe you got to work for it as well. So without further ado, we all give a round of applause to our amazing panelists. Thank you all.